Alright, so what's up guys? So we're out here on another run, out here doing this craziness for all you guys who simply sit back, watch, admire, and enjoy right as we make our way through the trees and the forest and the, you know, wonderful, beautiful nature around us. So, you know, for you, one thing that comes to mind is changing your life, right? Because we don't want to remain stagnant, right? We want to keep progressing, right? Just like these trees all around us, right? They keep growing and growing upward, and they might produce beautiful fruit, right? And, you know, essentially keep moving and expanding and providing more and more awesome shade and, you know, oxygen for beings like us to breathe in, right? So for you, in regards to your life, right, and giving back, doing, you know, your job on this earth, you want to do several steps that might change it specifically for the better. So, you know, don't worry, because we're gonna give you 4 tips in regards to changing your life. So in particular, we are gonna go to tip number 1. So in regards to changing your life, particular number 1 is to self-educate, right? Such a skipped step, right? Highly ignored, right? People think that they have to go to a certain school to get a top tier education, right? Because in actuality, it's you that's doing the educating, right? You that's transporting yourself into the building and learning, right? You could sit at any top tier university and, you know, be surrounded by the classes and everything, but you know, can decide whether or not you want to absorb that information. So that's the whole self-education process. But far too often, so many people think that, you know, the school stops, or the learning stops when the bell rings. School, right, when the semester is dismissed and everyone's out for summer. But we would say that that's when the true learning begins, right? When the bell rings at 3 o'clock, right? What are you doing to advance yourself beyond, I would say, your peers, right? Your classmates, those people around you who essentially are, you know, learning, doing the same path as you. And in actuality, in sense, you have to think about, you know, what books are you reading? What podcasts are you doing? Are you signing up for any classes, right? Take steps, you know, for you to learn and get better. And once you keep learning, you keep, you know, having that growth, right? The growth stops when you stop acquiring that knowledge and information, right? As you journey toward, I would call it, being a human encyclopedia, right? Of various experiences and journeys. And regarding experience, we'll talk about tip number 2, regards to changing your life, is to experience things head on, right? Don't worry so much about whether you win or lose. The mere fact that you participated is all that matters, right? Because you beat all the people that didn't try. Always remember that, right? You can go and play a game and lose, right? Quote unquote lose, but in reality, you won, right? You beat all the people that decided, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to get out of bed today. Oh, I don't have time, I have to go to work, right? But they wanted to do the same things that you did, right? Regardless, you know, if you define it as going to the gym, right? You're trying to hit your PR, hit 2 plates for the first time, and you fail, right? The bar doesn't go past your chest, but it gets stuck. Someone has to carry it, pick it up. Might be embarrassing. Who cares? And, right, you won. You beat all the people that said, I don't feel like going today, I can't, right? You are the strong one, right? In this situation, you are the winner, right? Who cares if you're able to actually get that bar over your head 10, 20, 50, 100 times? Who gives a crap? As long as you are trying and getting the experience by going there, by doing the work, applying for work, applying yourself. Okay? That's the best way to learn, beyond simply reading the books and, you know, hearing about the experiences of others. Why not try it for yourself? But experience is the best teacher. Right? It'd be like someone trying to make the NBA by reading every single book about basketball. Right? Foolish. They might become a good author, right? Or have the proper tools to become one, but even then they still have to apply themselves, right? Do the practice, open, you know, I say the empty sheets of paper, get a pencil and start writing. But if they don't do that, they're going nowhere. And so many of us might read a ton about a particular subject, become well studied, but not well versed. The well versed comes, you know, with actually going, showing up, doing the work, and we would call it feeling, right? And that's tip number 3, is to, in order to change your life, you gotta make failure your friend, right? People think of failure as horrible, embarrassing, right? I always gotta come out on top. I always have to win, right? I would even say I hate it when people do this, when they put, you know, people that make it to the NBA finals and lose, right? They forget how much work it took to get to that point. And even getting to that point, they get the experience of playing on the biggest stage in the world, right? In basketball, right? But they look at it as a failure, right? They may mock people, you know, that might make it to that point and simply haven't cracked the code to winning. And it's okay, because there's so many, they don't, literally billions of people that don't make it to that point every year. So by that very nature of them making it there, they win, right? The failure isn't so bad, right? People might mock them as they're walking off the court after they've lost a series, but they are the true winners. They're the ones that showed up and put in the work, right? And going through that, the loss is only going to make them better, right? Specifically in how they take that loss, right? And that's tip number 4, is that it's not so much about your actions, but your reactions to the results of those actions, right? Because a win, you know, can even hurt us if you think about it, right? Too many people, when they win in life, they make the $1 million, 10 million, even $1 billion, they might want to sit around, vacation, party, right? They've made it. And in actuality, before they know it, there's someone else, you know, coming up behind them, eager to take their position. And before they know it, what they had before is no longer there, right? So, you know, for you, come to think about it, you have to stay on it, keep working, whether you win or fail, right? If you win, keep going. Remember what you did to get there and replicate that behavior. But if you lose, change something, anything. If you lose again, it's okay. And even if that loss is harder, is worse, right? You lose a close game, you change something, then the next game it's a blowout, it's okay, right? Because you can keep changing things and working on things, figuring out what works and what doesn't. And that takes that trial and error, right? Because you might read about it in books that this particular way worked for somebody, maybe in a certain era, but everyone's different, right? We all come from different backgrounds, different ages, different locations, so many different factors that can influence our outcomes. So your way may not work, you know, for everybody, right? It won't, simply. right? Everyone's different, and that's okay, right? It's going to take work within you to figure out what works, you know, for you, right? How can you get the most out of what you were given, right? The talents you were born with, right? Worrying about the things that you can change and ignoring the things that you can't, right? The genetics, the kind of aspects of you that nobody can change, right? It's okay becoming content with them. You may appear or look at them as flaws, but hey, you only keep moving forward. And you know, by you worrying about it, you're gonna hinder your change, your ability to grow and get better. And you know, it's gonna hurt you in the long run. So you have to keep, you know, working, getting better, improving the things that you can control, yes, that you can, and move on, improve, work, get better. So those are the 4 tips in order to change life. As always, just say thank you very much and goodbye.